are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
The Social Action Media Network and T Radio V present Creating Good Work Live with your hosts, Ron Schultz and Greg Franks.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Creating Good Work Live, where week in and week out we bring you the finest in social innovators and social entrepreneurs who are solving some of the most pressing issues in our society today. I'm Ron Schultz.
And I'm Greg Franks.
And today we're speaking with a couple of organizations dedicated to our youth. First, the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, NFTE, and then the National Organizations for Youth Safety, NOYS. These two groups are providing opportunities and looking out for the welfare of our young people, are precious elements in our society, and we are very pleased to have them with us today.
Absolutely.
Our first guest, you were going to say something?
What? I have to do this now.
Craig.
I know. But before we go any further, you've had a new addition to your family.
I do.
And I think that we must acknowledge the new member of the family and show and share the photograph of her.
This is Ilaria Eloise Aylesworth-Eichner. All right. I can't. I have to admit it. She is absolutely lovely.
And congratulations.
Thank you. So, our first guest today, it's a tough one to follow.
I know, it
is Kimberly Small, who is the director of NFTE Los Angeles, the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And prior to coming to NFTE, Kim began her career as a teacher in LA Unified School District.
Yes.
Which was, I'm sure, a challenge, and then entered the business world as a business development specialist for specialized education services before joining Catapult Learning as director of strategic initiatives.
Yes.
She just recently became the director of NFTE here in LA,
yes.
which is a chapter of the national organization founded by Steve Mariotti about 25 years ago. And we're very glad you could be with us today.
Thank you.
Kim.
Thank you both for having me.
Oh,
Thank
sorry
you,
to
and
have you.
congratulations again, Ron. She is lovely.
You know, all I had to do is show up. They say it's easier when there's the grandchildren. So let's begin, Kim, with what NFTE is all about, and perhaps we can start with the history, and then take us to where it is today.
So in 1987, Steve Mariotti, the founder of NFTE, was teaching. He left his corporate job in Detroit and went to teach in the Bronx, and realized that his students did not have the necessary business skills when graduating, and we still often see that void in our students today. But he decided that he needed to develop entrepreneurial curriculum for his students so that when they left school, they could enter into the workforce or start their own business for themselves. So that historically, our mission has been to work in the under-resourced area with students that are entrepreneurial newbies, I call them. They know what it is, but they don't know how to get there. And so NFTE provides the pathway. It's truly a movement here in Los Angeles and nationwide, the entrepreneurial movement. And NFTE is providing, again, the pathway for the students to be successful entrepreneurs. We're creating the mindset, and that involves a multitude, a village, so to speak. Not just the curriculum, but highly trained teachers, supportive administrators, and hands-on stakeholders.
And has that changed over the years? I mean, has the focus of what NFTE is about changed, or is it remained fairly constant?
It's remained fairly constant. I think before we were more student-centric, and now we're moving to be more teacher-centric, and really working hard on training educators to provide the hands-on curriculum that NFTE provides to the student. And we're seeing sort of the trickle-down effect that if a highly trained teacher is confident and competent in the classroom to implement the NFTE curriculum, then the student has such tremendous success.
Yeah.
So we've shifted in that sense, but our focus still remains on the student in the under-resourced areas.
Yeah. So what differentiates NFTE from organizations like Junior Achievement?
Yes. Interesting enough, I've had conversations with Junior Achievement, but what differentiates us from JA and other organizations that provide entrepreneurial skills to students is that we provide a more in-depth curriculum, more hands-on activities. For example, I delivered a kit to one of the classrooms. I'm actually going to go out tomorrow and deliver another kit, or actually Friday. And in the kit has very, very different objects, Legos, Hershey bars. They have to create a pitch around these objects that we would think like, well, what do you do with it? But the kids come up with a plan and they pitch it and they come up with this business idea, and that's what really allows NFTE to be different from the others, is that we are more hands-on, more in-depth.
Yeah, Greg was on the board of directors. Was on the board of directors for Junior Achievement. So it's it's good. But we have a brief video here that is on NFTE, and we figured this would be a good time to screen it. So.
Using Powtoon.
Wow. That's my first time actually seeing that.
Well, tell us this. If you could describe NFTE in one word, what would that word be?
Innovative.
Innovative.
We are innovative. We are groundbreaking. We are creating a movement for young entrepreneurs. And that's the one word I'd say to describe NFTE, innovative.
Then also tell us about some of the events that NFTE puts on.
Great that you asked. It's great because when I first started NFTE, I was thrown into the fire, and we went. I've not stopped. We have classroom competitions in addition to a whole slew of other events, but we really focus on our classroom competitions. They're at the end of the year. The students work all year on building the plan, creating a financial plan, learning how to pitch. And so our volunteers come in and sit on a panel. Our panel of judges are able to listen to the kids pitch. They go from the classroom to semis to regionals and then on to the national competition in New York, where they receive an all-expense-paid trip to New York to pitch for another panel. They're grilled, really grilled. But along the way, we have opportunities for students to network with each other, such as Transform LA. We have opportunities for students to hear speakers who are entrepreneurs, who have sat where they sit and have come up through the ranks, and they get to listen to their journey. So during a Global Entrepreneur Week, we have students we have alumni, we have USC students, and we have speakers come into each of the classrooms to talk about their journey.
How did you become inspired to join the NFTE team?
Oh my gosh. Let me just say, they found me, and I'm glad they did. I was impressed with the mission. I was impressed when I really learned more about the organization, and when I talked to individuals, I felt excitement about what NFTE was doing, and that's something I haven't felt in a very long time. So I was really, really fortunate to have this opportunity to join the NFTE team and to work alongside some very inspiring individuals, but most importantly, to work with the students. And that's why I got into education, is because of the kids. And so I was able to come back to that. I think I was moving up through the corporate ladder, which is always a good thing, but I really wanted to get back to my roots and working with students. And
Well, we're gonna come back to some of
Okay.
this because we have to take a break now. But we're speaking with Kim Small from NFTE, the National Federation, the network. Wait a minute.
Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship.
Network for Teaching
Yes.
Entrepreneurs.
You know
Thank
our
Yeah.
former name.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know the old name. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back here with Creating Good Work Live.
We'll be right back with more Creating Good Work Live.
I went all throughout my life feeling like I'd been cheated.
Ronnie can't afford to fail.
See, my brother, he didn't make it out.
You have a life ahead of you. It's a waste of time to just stay here and do nothing with it.
You hear so many kids who don't think school is important, and then they go through NFTE and they start entrepreneurship education programs, and they take off because they realize, I've got to do math because I've got to put my business plan together.
One day your struggles are going to prepare you for greatness.
I don't want to end up falling through the cracks.
Being a disappointment.
I don't want to end up dead.
It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Sustainable Law Group is a different type of law firm. Our clients are primarily social enterprises, nonprofits, and green businesses. Our mission is to provide legal counsel that is aligned with our clients' values by providing integrated, sustainable, and comprehensive solutions. We're a full-service law firm. Starting a benefit corporation, cooperative, or nonprofit, the attorneys at the Sustainable Law Group are ready to support you in all stages of your business. Find out more about Sustainable Law Group at sustainablelawyer.com.
Welcome back to Creating Good Work Live on G Radio V.
And we're back. Sarah?
Share with us some of your student success stories.
Oh my gosh, I can actually talk to you about our finalist, Matthew, who went to nationals a couple of weeks ago to pitch his rephone business. So what Matthew does is he buys broken iPhone screens or digital screens from retailers, fixes them, and then sells them back. He graduated from high school just recently, and he has a very lucrative business at such a young age. Mm-hmm. He's amazing. So he's one of the many success stories that I know of. In addition to Matthew, we had Luis and Lanisa, who went on to New York as well to pitch their Cloud 21 boards. They actually made a prototype of a skateboard that has a built-in speaker, so kids wouldn't have to ride around with headphones on, or what did they tell me? So you wouldn't have to carry your boom box. And I said, oh, that's really going back. That's dating back. And underneath it was a charging dock, so you could charge your phone and when it runs out. I just thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
They did an exceptional job, but really we had a multitude of volunteers that coached these kids. And I mean, it was late nights at the office, having dinner and getting drilled by our volunteers. And we also, our latest one, this is incredible, Cassandra, created a prototype positive feeder. It is an automatic dog feeder, dog food feeder. But what makes hers different is that she has a tablet in front so that she can FaceTime with her dog and if she's gone. So it just creates an opportunity for the dog not to get lonely, but it also creates opportunity for the dog to eat, especially if she knows she's going to be gone for a while. But she recently went to San Francisco, actually last Saturday, to participate in Girlpreneur, and she got to pitch her idea to Mark Cuban. Now, she didn't win, but just the opportunity to pitch to Mark Cuban. And that was sent down to NFTE, and we filtered it out to our alumni. So we have a really good alumni program where we have a system that they register as alumni, and we give them tons of opportunities out there. Everything we hear about, we post on the alumni network so that the students are able to benefit from scholarships and other opportunities.
You know, it's interesting. We had David Jones from Microsoft on a few weeks ago, and the workplace of the future. And he was showing us all these things that Microsoft has been working on as what the workplace of the future was. But there wasn't a tablet in front of a dog. That's great. David would love that.
We should connect Cassandra.
It's really cool.
So we want to, in this notion of creating these kind of digital worlds, that we want to show another little brief video on the digital classroom.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and we can talk a little bit more about the alumni group and about how people can reach out to get to NFTE.
Perfect.
The Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, or NFTE, started in 1987 when one teacher in New York City, Steve Mariotti, sought to combat the high school dropout crisis by engaging students through entrepreneurship. Over the past 25 years, NFTE has grown into a global leader in youth entrepreneurship, having reached over 500,000 youth worldwide. NFTE has proven that students become engaged when learning about entrepreneurship and starting a business, but young people today continue to face challenges. Dropout rates and youth unemployment remain high, and the modern economy expects more from workers than ever. NFTE's innovative and experiential programs help students overcome these challenges. And now, students across the NFTE network are using online tools to take learning beyond the classroom, connecting with fellow students, entrepreneurs, and business professionals. The next step is to create an online space where students can access resources and collaborate directly with business leaders. In this online space, the NFTE student experience becomes truly global. Through NFTE, students will learn the skills to be entrepreneurs, as well as the tools to be productive members of the 21st century economy. Join us at NFTE in inspiring and connecting the next generation of entrepreneurs.
Well, that is very cool.
That's very.
Yeah. So let's talk about the future of NFTE. Where do you see the future of NFTE going?
So I see and the future of NFTE going in a very positive way. I see us reaching more students. I see us expanding, especially here in Los Angeles. What we are looking to do as an organization is, again, to create a 4-year pathway for our student. So to be from 9th grade to 12th grade. And when they leave our NFTE class and become a NFTE alumni, they'll leave with some college credit because we're looking at dual enrollment. They'll leave with it industry recognized certification in an area of their expertise. We want them to not only leave with entrepreneurial skills, but we want them to leave with actual sustainable opportunities for them to make it. And some kids go on to college, and that's fine, and some kids will go on to college with a business. That would be our hope. And some kids will just go on out and start their own business. And we want to create opportunities, and we want them to know that they have opportunities. We want them to leave with skills, business-minded skills to be successful.
So I know that Nifty LA has a whole slew of partners that
Yes.
you're working with. How do I become a partner? I mean, what are you looking for in your partners?
So we are looking for partners that are willing, and when I say partners, there are different types of partners.
Okay.
There are partners that are willing to come into the classrooms and to be coaches and mentors and judges and speakers. There are partners that want to join our board. We have an entrepreneurial board, our council, and we have an advisory council, raising funds for our students to subsidize some of the activities and the events that we plan. Sponsors that want to sponsor events that we have, sponsors that want to adopt a class or adopt a school. With Nifty, we strive to not just be one class in one box, but we want to be a brand in the school so everyone knows about Nifty. And we support we support the ideas of the principal, of the administrator, and of the school community. So there are multiple ways of becoming involved with Nifty, and you can just go on our website and sign up. You can actually go on and click on, there's an area that you can click on for local programs, and you can find us in LA, or you can email me.
Right. I think we have a contact card for you here that we can put up for folks that will tell them how to get in touch with Nifty
Yes.
LA. And just as a final word here, if you had your dream come true here in terms of people to show up, who do you want to show up?
The Bradley Foundation.
Well,
Is that a shameless plug? All right.
Well taken.
After the Bradley Foundation, I would love Bill and Melinda Gates to get involved, the Gates Foundation to get involved. That would be Oprah.
Okay. Well, I like the way you dream.
I dream big.
Well, Kim, we really appreciate you coming on Creating Good Work this week. And
Thank you for having me.
Again, if you're interested in the work of Nifty, it really is quite amazing and quite a significant organization, really doing good work in terms of helping young people recognize the possible.
Yes.
And that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
we're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna be back with April Ray from the National Organizations for Youth Safety. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
There's more to come on Creating Good Work Live.
Some of you that means developing new products that will change the way we live. So Haley Hobiter, where's Haley? There she is, right over here. Invented a new type of sugar packet that dissolves in hot water. It's flavorless, it's colorless, and potentially could save up to 2 million pounds of trash each year. And that's just at Starbucks. So MasterCard has already awarded her $10,000 to help turn her idea into a business. Some of you are here because you saw a problem in your community and you're trying to do something to solve it. Benjamin Hylack, where's Benjamin?
What can you do in 3 seconds? You can blow bubbles. You can hug a friend. You can help a stranger.
You dropped your ID. Oh, hey, thanks.
But also, you can put lives in danger.
Dude, you're falling asleep. Drowsy driving is just as bad as drunk driving. We need to pull over.
Yeah, you're right.
So what can you do in 3 seconds? The choice is up to you.
And now here's Ron and Greg.
And we're back. And our next guest is April Rye, who is the membership manager for the National Organizations for Youth Safety. And her responsibilities include strengthening NOYS membership, member services, broadening its outreach, developing new partnerships, and communicating with members to engage within the coalition. And you've got an organization of organizations, over 100 organizations. That's a lot of talking to people.
It is a lot of talking.
And so we're really glad you're here, April, with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, and I'm actually really excited to be here because I don't know if you knew this, but this week is National Teen Driver Safety Week.
Aha.
So it's a perfect time for me to hang out.
I'm so glad you could be here. And we can help get that message out.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, let's begin. How would you describe the mission of the national organization?
Well, I would say that we are a coalition, and as the high schoolers say, we're a squad. We're a group of over 100 organizations that work with young people, and what we're really trying to do is build partnerships that save lives and prevent injuries, because unintentional injury is the leading cause of death for teens in America. And the number one of those unintentional injuries is car crashes. It's been that way for over 21 years. Noise has been in existence for 21 years, and we've been trying to change the statistic since then. So we do that through educating and empowering young people to use a peer-to-peer education model. Teach them to teach their friends how to drive safe.
So with this coalition being in operation for all those years, how successful have you been in recruiting students to be part of this?
Well, we've been extremely successful because of our members that are super diverse. They include businesses, federal partners, but also nonprofit organizations that have clubs in high schools, some that folks may have heard of as Students Against Destructive Decisions, SAD. There are Future Business Leaders of America. These are all small club-like organizations within high schools that teach young people in their community the issues. And then they go out and they'll do community programs or events. So they try to strengthen their community by educating them about what's affecting them the most.
How many different organizations are interacting then with you in this mission?
Right now we're at 105. And those organizations, like I said, are federal partners, so includes the Department of Transportation, Health and Human Services at the federal level, but also members of industry like AT&T, You Back for Good. These are businesses that have decided to give their philanthropic dollars to youth safety issues. And then also something that I'm really proud of is that we have victim advocates, so people who have a personal story that makes them passionate about these issues. And it's not just driver safety, but it's also suicide prevention. That's the number 2 killer of teens in America. So it's all the issues that make it so that our young people do not make it across the entire lifespan. Anything that stops a young person from making it to retirement, we cover.
Yeah.
All of the issues, whether it be bullying, human trafficking, self-harm, prescription drug abuse, anything that's affecting teens, we cover through our organizations.
We had the Coalition Against Slavery and Trafficking, which operates here in Los Angeles on the
Yes.
show, and we're going to have them on again. But I wanted to show a brief video
Great.
that really kind of talks about this whole notion of missing and exploited children, which I
Yes.
think is really important. And if we could run that, we'll take a look and we'll come back on the other side.
I'm delighted to have the opportunity to help launch the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
They're really stepping up their work to catch sexual predators that hurt children.
You should tell an adult, a trusted adult.
Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
It's the largest criminal conspiracy I've ever seen.
The amount of kids that we know to be victimized is increasing.
In the last week, but they didn't come up.
These are America's children.
If they had an autistic child.
Something new coming to your Facebook newsfeed now.
The initiative is a billboard campaign.
Okay, that was March 25th.
Everything else will all phase into this.
So let's, it's pretty powerful,
It
isn't
is powerful. It is.
So let's go a little bit more deeper into the kinds of services and the kinds of issues that you're dealing with at Noise.
Absolutely. Well, I really love this
little clip that we just showed for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they have an amazing program called NetSmarts, and it teaches not just teenagers, but even younger children about digital and internet safety, which sometimes is the gateway into trafficking. So trying to educate young people about how to be safe when they use the internet, hopefully will help them from getting into a sticky situation where someone's telling them, hey, come meet me at the coffee shop. Don't tell your mom. We're just going to have fun. And then they end up getting into a trafficking situation and they don't know how to get out. Yeah. This is real life things that are happening to our young people, and that prevent them, like I said, from living across the lifespan. So amazing work that they do, and they partner with almost every federal agency that there is, law enforcement, ICE, everyone has their eyes everywhere, trying to make sure that we bring our kids home.
Yeah, with good reason.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely good reason. So this is a pretty complex operation you have of all these different moving pieces and all these different organizations.
It is.
What makes this coalition model used by Noise so successful? And I think that's really important, because we don't often hear. I mean, we hear about coalitions, and but they never seem to be as integrated.
Right.
How do you make that happen?
So the thing that's great about a coalition is that you have diverse programs, resources, reach, and approaches to taking, like you said, this issue is complex. When you talk about the safety of youth in America, it's a complex issue. Not one entity, not one organization can fix it. It takes different people doing different things to hopefully make a change. So that can be challenging sometimes, because that means different goals and different approaches. But the one thing that makes us all work together is remembering why. What is our outcome that we all want? We all want young people to be safe. We all care about the youth. Let's come together on that notion. So maybe you're an organization that's a research organization, like we have a nonprofit as a member, the Student Research Foundation, and that's what they do. We have federal partners that provide the statistics that we use to drive the point home. But then we also have members of industry that want to donate their philanthropic dollars. So maybe they are a funding source to help promote programs or help give scholarships. And still then we have youth clubs that are in the schools, actually the deploying mechanism for getting the word out to these young people. So when all of us pull together, I can tell you it is a beautiful thing, because we all have different things to bring to the table. So when we remember why we're here, then the youth really are benefited.
Yeah. Have you guys, oftentimes within a whole slew of nonprofits, we have people who are doing redundancy. There's a level of redundancy. And there's some other issues that often pop up with nonprofits, like ego. I've never seen ego in nonprofits. But the question I have for you is, I mean, what do you guys work at all with trying to share capacity among these organizations?
We do, and that is my number one job, is trying to make everybody share. And I do that in a couple of ways. I have one-on-one conversations often with executive directors of nonprofits, and I try to find out from them, what is your goal? How are you trying to get there? And most importantly, what do you need to reach your goal? As I do that with all of our executive directors, I'm able to find points of intersection and then make those connections, whether it be, hey, you need to talk to Ron, or hey, you guys need to talk because he has funding for a program, you have a program that needs funding. Wow, can you believe it? Just facilitating conversations is helpful, but also I bring everyone together once a year for an annual coalition meeting where I take the top topics that have been points of issues for these executive directors and then provide some type of good point of resource, help to them. You have a problem with fundraising? Let's have a fundraising seminar. Let me help you understand what you're missing and why you can't raise money. So each year, bringing all of these executive directors together hopefully help strengthen their organizations individually.
Yeah, great. Well, we're speaking with April Rye from the National Organizations of Youth Safety. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on. Thanks.
To tell me why, as I grew and with strength.
You're watching Creating Good Work Live on T-Radio V.
Every year, 15 15 million teens are a victim of cyberbullying. 19,000 of those teens contemplate suicide. What if we use the power of social networking to inspire America's teens so they build each other up instead of tear each other down? Would our community be a better place? Would our country be a better place? We think so too. Getting America's teens to help one another is what the Great American No Bull Challenge is all about.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. It's my daughter Zoe.
Hey guys, I'm Zach Beach, one of the youngest race car drivers in the country.
Hi, my name is Nicole Edgington, and I'm a national spokesperson for the Great American No Bull Challenge.
Each year, 15 million teenagers are cyberbullied.
As a kid, I was bullied, and I never let that stop me chasing my dream to get to the top in racing.
Learning how to deal with cyberbullies on your own is a complicated thing to do.
So please join me.
Join Team No Bull and join the conversation.
You plus No Bull. Proud partners of the No Bull Challenge.
Most anti-bullying efforts rely heavily on bystanders to take action, leaving your child with no protection. The No app aims to change that. Now your child can summon the assistance of a policewoman to tell the bully no, and you get alerted in real time with a map of your child's location. With video evidence, the bully's parents can be confronted, and school officials can be forced to take action. You get increased peace of mind, and your child gets increased self-confidence.
We're back with Ron and Greg.
Yes. and we're back with April Rye from the National Organizations for Youth Safety. So let's talk about some of the challenges getting all these hundreds of organizations and federal agencies and members of industry to work together on all these safety initiatives. How do you overcome those challenges?
Yeah.
What are they and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, like we were saying, individual organizations and agencies mean individual priorities, goals, and methods. But one thing that remains consistent throughout is our outcome. We all want the same outcome. We want to save lives, prevent injuries, and no one organization can do it all. So reminding them of their human capacity is first, and then the power of working together. If you take your youth club that has 20,000 members and I take my youth club that has 60,000 together, if we have the same message, wow, how many youth leaders can we create? If these are what I call cream of the crop kids who want to step up and do a little more than the average, then you can create little community leaders. They can teach their peers, and then it's like a huge effect. It's beautiful. But it's about reminding everyone that the important thing is the youth, not your technical bottom line or your goal, but it is saving a life. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, these organizations do get caught up sometimes in their organization.
Right. But why did you get founded? Why are you here?
Exactly.
What was the story?
Right.
And sometimes when we come together, like I said, we have an annual meeting, I make sure to always have a victim impact panel. Always have the stories told because it reminds people why they got started. Somebody lost their life and they were young. That's
Right.
why you're here. That's why you started X organization. That's why you chose to make youth safety your philanthropic priority. Remember? So bringing that back to the forefront really helps to calm people down and make them partner.
So how does this notion of youth leadership and empowerment, those kinds of programs, how does that fit in with youth safety?
Well, it really helps, like I said, when we have cream of the crop students, so students who want to step up and do something about something they've seen, giving them an opportunity to do that in a creative way, not stifling them, but giving them the education and then the tools to create a national platform. So we do that in a couple of different ways. Noise has a program called Youth Correspondence, where a young person can sign up to become a youth correspondent. They can pick on a list of issues that from a survey of all of our members we've identified could be most benefited from a national campaign, whether it be suicide, self-harm, speeding, whatever it is that they're seeing is a number one problem that needs to be elevated. We'll give the students a list of those issues. Those students can select from those issues and create some type of creative campaign. It could be a PSA video, it could be a whiteboard animation, it could be a photo collage, whatever they want to do to express this issue that they think would catch the attention of their peers, they created. And then we work with our partners at the National Association of Broadcasters and the Ad Council to get the word out from what these students have created. We're really proud of what we've been able to do with that.
Well, I want to return to the area of driving.
Yes.
And it was because you highlighted as the number one challenge around youth safety, and we'll screen a brief video, and then we'll talk about it on the other side a little bit.
That's great.
Hello, my name is Marin Abraham, and I am an 18-year-old with a driving license like most people my age. However, I, unlike most teen drivers, try to practice the safest driving habits. The leading cause of teen deaths is by motor vehicle accident. That is insane and completely preventable simply by practicing safe driving habits. We teen drivers need to change the statistics and survive the 5. The 5 top reasons for teen car accidents are inexperience, distraction, excessive speed, not wearing a seatbelt, and lastly, alcohol and drug use. All teens need to know the consequences of practicing unsafe driving habits before entering the road. By practicing unsafe driving habits, you are putting your life plus everyone on the road's life at risk. So don't take those few seconds away from focusing on the road to be unsafe and potentially cause an accident that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Be a safe driver and know the impacts you can have on the road. Remember that every time you step into the car.
Interpretation.
Right.
And we're back.
That was great.
Yeah, that's very. Again, the powerful messages that are going on here.
And that was created by a teenager.
Yeah.
That was created by a teenager. One of our members, The Art of Driving, it was started by a mother who lost her daughter because she was an inexperienced driver. She lost control of her vehicle, and she got in a one-car crash. To even be clear to you about what happened, the mother was driving home from work, saw her daughter's car on the side of the road, and thought, that's weird. Let me stop to the side and see what happened. She found her daughter.
Oh.
If you can even imagine
cannot.
that. She then rose from the ashes, created a nonprofit organization that tries to educate young people about safe driving, the 5 things that really impact a young person in their driving and that could cause death. So because of that, she has a scholarship in her daughter's name, and she encourages young people to create PSA videos about the things that could hurt a young person when they drive, and that was what we just saw. That was the winner for this year. It's really great.
Would you consider her to be a constituent affiliated with noise?
Absolutely. I think that anyone who considers himself a youth advocate, anyone who cares about young people in whatever capacity, whether it's a leadership thing or whether it's a mentoring thing, or if you have one issue that you really care about, maybe suicide, you really care about that, or maybe prescription drug use, you have a story. Even if you have a story you can tell, you should become a member of Noise. We have individuals who we call alum Noise, who are advocates who go around and do speaking engagements. They provide, great stories and feedback on specific issues, and it really is impactful when a young person hears that for the first time. And like it is in school, there's always a new crop that's coming every year. So our work is never done.
And some of your young students are very much a part of that grouping.
Absolutely. We make sure that our youth are at the center of everything we do, and that's what makes the Noise Coalition different from anything else. Youth are always at the forefront. We just had an event this Monday in Washington, D.C., and we had a youth-led press conference with national leaders, with federal leaders, administrators from the Department of Transportation, big-time people, and it was the youth who led the press conference, and it was a phenomenal success. And those are the types of things that we do.
Tell us about some of your upcoming events then.
Yeah, so just this week on Sunday, there is a race in Sherman Oaks, California, in honor of Connor Lynch, who was killed in an intersection because of a distracted driver. So there is a race in his honor put on by his mother, Jerry Lynch. She's done it every year. I believe it's the 6th year. And everyone should come down with their family and support it. You can go to inhonorofconnor.org is where you can sign up for it. But hey, even if you can't be there, there's a virtual race. And hey, even if you don't want to do the virtual race, you can go on youbackforgood.com and you can donate $5 and help support this amazing organization. youbackforgood.com. It has a list of 1 million nonprofits that are worth supporting.
Yeah, we're gonna put up a contact card in a little while.
That's great.
So people know how to find you.
Yeah.
But the other part of this is that you have 105 organizations. What's your capacity? I mean, are you still open to new people coming in, new organizations coming on board? And do you see this as a
Absolutely open. The more youth that we can reach, the more we can reach our final goal, which is getting the word out to as many youth as we can. At this moment, our reach is 9 million. And that is the combined reach of all of our organizations. That's how many youth that we reach. We want to reach even more, as many as we can, with these safety messages so we can save a life.
Yeah, and among all these different organizations, it just seems that there is the number of these folks provide you with a lobbying opportunity to really work with governments to really get the word out on these things. Is that part of your operation? Is that lobbying process?
So NOYS does not have a government affairs arm, but many of our individual organizations do. But more than lobby, we try to educate our elected representatives about the issues that are affecting young people. And one program that we have, one of our organizations, Students Against Destructive Decisions, SAD, they have a program called SAD Speaks, where they take about 10 to 15 youth leaders from across America, bring them to Capitol Hill, and they hold a session for members of Congress to come and hear from the youth the things that are impacting them in their communities. It is extremely impactful if you've ever been able to go, which I have for many years, but this is just one way that we try to educate our elected officials about what's affecting young people, from them, not from us.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to be done.
That's for sure.
Yes.
So let's put up your information as where people can get more information about NOYS and its various partners.
Okay, great.
And so that they can reach out to you and especially if there are other organizations that are involved in this that want to connect with people.
Absolutely.
That want to that recognize that it is working together. That we are stronger in that regard.
We are stronger together. I have this funny little analogy that I always use with regard to partnerships, and I say a salad is nutrition. It has nutritional value if it's just, lettuce. All right, it'll make you not be hungry for a little while, but wow, how much more exciting would a salad be if you had some tomatoes and cucumbers, maybe a little avocado in there. Whoa, now you're talking, right? Well, that's our coalition, or as young people say, our squad. If we were just one organization, we could do some good work. But 105, we're doing some amazing work, and we want even more organizations to come join so we can work together and share resources.
Yeah. Do you have a national gathering?
Yes, we do. Every year we have an annual meeting. It's a coalition meeting. It happens in June. This year it'll be hosted by the National Association of Broadcasters at their headquarters in Washington, D.C. And the day before, we're going to do a networking event at the Newseum. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's a museum of news. It's very awesome. So that is our gathering, but we have a lot of amazing things lined up, specifically with regard to fundraising and effective strategies, and also effective programming, where I intend to have a youth speed dating event. I can't think of another word besides speed dating, but essentially an organization would have a young person at a table and they can pitch a program idea to the young person and get direct feedback right then. Would I be interested in that? Would I care? Let me tell you why that doesn't work for me. As a young person, to hear that feedback, how beneficial would that be to a nonprofit leader who's trying to think about the best way to use their resources? So we intend on doing that for all of our members so they can get real-time feedback from youth around the country on if their programs would truly be effective.
So our guest today has been April Rye from the National Organizations for Youth Safety. And we're very happy that you could come by today and
thanks for having me.
And speak with us and
Thank you.
and really
Thank you.
Share this message of keeping our youth safe.
We have to. We have to. We all have to do our part. So even as an individual, if you can just show everyone what right looks like in your own little bubble. Every time somebody gets in your car, make sure they put their seatbelt on. You can just do that. Make sure that any young person they know that you're a safe adult, someone they could go to and talk to if they're going through something at school. Maybe they're being bullied. Maybe someone tried to say something to them as they're walking home from school. Do something in your own bubble to make a difference.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for being on Creating Good Work
Thank
Live.
you for having me.
And we will see you all on our next show. And we encourage you to tune in also for our CalGov TV shows, which will begin airing next week and over the weeks to come. And we're very excited about all of that. And thanks again to my co-host,
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you again.
Thank
Here
you.
we go.
And we'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
There it is. Can we get that song back on?
Yeah, I was sitting here
Where
thinking
is
about
it?
keeping your head to the sky. Guys.
Creating Good Work Live is a production of the Social Action Media Network on T-Radio V.
You are watching T-Radio V, Radio and TV.